What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Quick Pitch MLB DFS podcast and live stream recording here for Wednesday's 10-game main slate. James, we are looking at a 1:10 start time here for Wednesday, a little afternoon baseball for everybody to turn on while they're working from home, working from the office. Maybe you turn it on your computer, get a little day baseball in, follow along with your DFS lineups, your fantasy baseball lineups, maybe your bets, maybe your prize picks. A little something in the afternoon for you to pay attention to today.
Yeah, let's just hope that you're not going to ever promote people just not working again, John. That's pretty.
I didn't say not working. I said that while they're working, they can have a little something else, a little more entertainment to their life here.
Sure, John. Sure. Yeah, nice little 10 gamer in the afternoon. We have Coors once again because we just can't get rid of Coors.
We have
early on
Coors,
this
but
year.
we might not have Coors. I'm
some.
checking. I see the weather symbol here.
Yep, there's some rain.
Look, I'm pulling up the hourly. I'm gonna see what we're looking at here. We do have rain. We have rain starting. I guess I can't tell what they're showing me. I think they're showing me mountain time. I'm in the East Coast. So I don't know if this is 4 p.m. mountain time or
Right.
4 p.m. Eastern time. But yes, there is rain starting 4 p.m. Consistently through the rest of the afternoon at 50 to 65% chance of rain here. So if that is during game time for them, then there's a potential for an in-game delay, maybe a postponement, maybe they start and start late. So who knows? But there is expected at least some weather at some point there after in the afternoon here for the Colorado game.
Yeah, and so we'll find out obviously at some point. It's 3:10 Eastern. Slate kicks off at 1:10, so we'll know what well ahead of roster lock how that's going to play out. But interesting pitching matchup there. Oviedo coming off a really good start against Austin Gomber, who just hasn't looked good at all. It's a 11.5 is what it's opened at. Wouldn't be surprised if that balloons to 12 or 12.5. Would it close at 13, right?
Yeah, close at 13 today, opening up
Tuesday,
12.
right? We have some interesting game totals here. 9.5, the opening line, and I even see in Caesars is up to 10 in Arizona, St. Louis. Madison Bumgarner versus Jake Woodford. That is a pretty
green light special there for St. Louis.
Yeah.
Shocked to see Madison Bumgarner at $7,600.
Yeah, that is.
He is averaging 1.6 fantasy points per game this year.
That doesn't seem great.
Doesn't.
There's 9 runs implied in the Atlanta-San Diego game as well. Charlie Morton versus Nick Martinez in that one. 9 runs implied in Philadelphia and the Chicago White Sox. Taijuan Walker versus Mike Clevenger. And then 9 runs implied in Texas, Kansas City. Martin Perez, who I feel like just pitched like 2 days ago, against Brady Singer. So there actually are some pretty solid totals. Let's see if we have anything notable on the money line before we move on. Jake Woodford is a -180 favorite. That's just the disrespect towards Madison Bumgarner.
Innings against Pittsburgh in his last start,
right?
As a 5K pitcher, min price. So maybe people are looking at that.
It is Pittsburgh, so I hope, it is also Madison Bumgarner, lefty, and we know how good the Cardinals can be against lefties, so we have that going for us as well. Justin Steele, he's one of my favorite pitchers in baseball, -180 favorite as well, 175 over on DraftKings, and that's really it, John. Like Max Scherzer, despite being on the slate, gets the Dodgers tough spot, -130. Taijuan Walker, -120. Like we don't have really any big favorites anywhere that we can find.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a telltale for the slate because we have Scherzer here on the slate, but he's been off to an un-Scherzer-like at times start. Yep. I mean, San Diego obviously just 5 innings. They kind of got him 97 pitches in that. So usually you don't see Scherzer going 97 pitches in 5 innings. Granted, only 1 hit allowed, didn't give up any runs, 3 walks, but they certainly made him work, and now he's got the Dodgers here. Taijuan Walker being the second highest price pitcher on this slate doesn't feel right to me,
No.
despite the fact that he's coming off a decent start against Cincinnati. I know you're a big Justin Steele guy. You were very hesitant to play him against the Dodgers, and he was phenomenal. He's the chalk of the slate again, right? Going up against Oakland the way but not only that, just the way he's been pitching.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know if like chalk of the slate is. I think it's a price point thing. I don't think people are going to be used to seeing Justin Steele like this at this price point. I do understand he's been amazing, and deserves to be highly priced. I think just given the way the slate lays out, there's still going to be ownership going to Max Scherzer, like plenty of ownership going to Max Scherzer. We see it literally night in, night out that no matter what, the best arm on the slate will just be highly rostered at this point. That's just what how things are shaping up to be. I agree on the Taijuan Walker front. He's been improving, but not to a point where I'm like, yeah, 9,900 is comfortable. Everything lines up for Steele to be a very good play here. Oakland's obviously a subpar offense, and subpars might be putting it gently. Let's see the strikeout rate. 23% strikeout rate against lefties this year. 697 OPS is, league average. So, everything lines up for Steele to be good. I just think 9,700 is a price point that we're just not. A lot of people are going to look at and be like, Justin Steele probably isn't a $9,700 pitcher. So.
Yeah, I mean, most people would agree with that, considering how his pricing has been. But if you're looking at this slate, I mean, Eric Lauer on the road is not generally a spot we want to pitch him. Again, I know he just pitched well in San Diego. It feels like that's been a trend where we're like, oh, we don't want to go against the Padres. And then, Colin Ray's out here pitching well. Eric Lauer's pitching well, just shutting down San Diego.
Right.
I still don't feel like I love this spot for Lauer, but, there's definitely guys in that lineup that can hit left-handed pitching. Morton, he labored through his last start against Kansas City. Another guy that's been okay, but not great. He's $8,800. So, I mean, if you're just looking at the pitching on this slate, I like Martin Perez at $7,400. I'm kind of surprised to see him so cheap on this slate. To me, it's like Steele, and then you're really just kind of throwing darts for matchups here. With your SP2.
So I actually like Morton. And I thought he looked pretty good last start. Through 6 innings, 89 pitches, probably could have gone back out there.
It was he picked up steam there a little. I bet his strikeout prop. So he picked up steam up there a little bit at the end, but he was laboring early in that start.
I feel pretty good about him against San Diego. We have one more day without the Fernando as a team that they're not going to have Tatis. He comes back Thursday. We get Morton here on Wednesday. We profiled it on Tuesday. San Diego's been striking out quite a bit against righties. Yeah. They went into Tuesday's slate with the 7th highest strikeout rate, 25%. 717 OPS is, not great. So I like Charlie Morton, 88. I have no interest in Eric Lauer, really. Truthfully, at 92, I know he was really good last start, and he was good against the Cubs, but he's already allowed 4 home runs, and you're spot on. Like, Teoscar Hernandez had a 500 WOBA against lefties last year. We know what Julio Rodriguez can do. Like,
yeah.
Suarez. Yeah, I mean,
Ty France gets better against lefties. I mean, they have a really good lineup against pitching.
Yeah, really tough spot. I like Trevor Rogers coming off his best start. He looked good in the spring. He was a lot of people's favorite pick for.
We've been attacking San Francisco lately, but they've been hitting some of these pitchers. Luzardo.
What if I told? Yeah, but and I know it's a small sample, but 29.8% K rate against lefties.
Right.
566 OPS. That is second to last, only in front of Detroit. 066 ISO. that is the lowest in baseball against lefties. They're either last or second to last in every statistical category. Like, I just like the Luzardo thing aside, one start isn't going to make me shy away from Rogers, who has strikeout appeal, has been keeping the ball on the ground for the most part. And his first two starts came against the Mets. Like, we respect the Mets offense quite a bit. Everything suggests the Giants offense isn't good against lefties, and they're striking out a lot against both sides of the plate. But they, conversely, compared to their 566 OPS against lefties, they have an 852 OPS against righties. Like, they're just proving to be a better team against righties right now. And if Trevor Rogers gets lit up, then maybe we have to reevaluate if that's two guys in a row. But I'm not shying away just because Luzardo struggled against him.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. They because Cabrera had a decent start today, 6 innings, 2 earned, 8 Ks against them. It just feels like the Luzardo start aside, I feel like we had targeted them a little bit recently. And they were kind of getting to now Detroit pitching. They had 10 runs. They put up 6, 5, and 5 against Detroit in LA. So it feels like their offense is maybe like coming up a little bit, but maybe to your point.
Well, to the righty against the righties, it is.
Sure.
They have an 852 OPS against righties, but 566 against lefties. That's horrible.
Okay. You're right. I mean, listen, Rogers was bad last year, but he is coming off of his best start against Arizona. So maybe there's something to build off of. They're at $8,500, and beggars kind of can't really be choosers when it comes to the slate either, because the pitching does get a little interesting. Yep. Thoughts on Marco Gonzalez? We talk a lot about him at times being a reverse splits pitcher. We know Milwaukee has a lot of lefties in their lineup, but it is a lefty-lefty matchup for them. Do you feel confident in Marco Gonzalez here? He's coming off of a pretty decent start. Last time out, he was scratched, but it was a maternity leaving. It wasn't an injury thing. 5 2/3 against Cleveland and earned in 5 Ks. Would you throw him against Milwaukee here, who may take the lefties out of their lineup?
Yeah, I think we need strikeout. Like, we need a win, right? Because he's not going to strike people out. So if you think that Marco Gonzalez can get you those win points, then I'm fine with it. Again, just such a low floor. That's what kind of this whole pitching position feels like. Just like low floor after low floor after low floor. Like, Alex Cobb is someone I'd have mild interest in because he can strike people out and he keeps the ball on the ground.
Well, that's how I feel about Martin Perez. Like, I know he hasn't gone more than 5 2/3, but at least he's throwing 90 pitches.
Right.
He generally is limited to damage, but he probably gets himself in a little bit of trouble. Faced Philly, Chicago, Houston. I mean, again, today, Kansas City got off to a little bit of a good start against Eovaldi, but he eventually just kind of, buckled down and was able to close them out there. Perez is decent for this slate, I think. That's why I feel like he's mispriced at 7,400.
He does feel mispriced, and we've talked about it ad nauseum how bad KC's offense has been. Against both-handedness. John, against lefties, 32% strikeout rate for the Royals this year. Yeah. That is tops in baseball. So, yeah, I mean, for another guy who doesn't have like massive strikeout appeal, it's been pretty good this year. We know last year was a wild season for Martin Perez. I think this tier is okay. Like, I like Cobb. Perez is a very good play as well. Brady Singer, although he got absolutely shellacked his last 2 starts, 4 home runs against Atlanta. Like, that happens in Atlanta. Still had 8 strikeouts. Brady Singer turned into a complete different pitcher last year. So those are the 3 guys I would look at in the mid tier. I don't know if you have anyone else to add, but like it just falls off a literal cliff.
Yeah. I mean, like, would you pick a pitch Oviedo here in Colorado?
He's been really damn good. He has been so good.
I know. Let's take a deeper look into his numbers here. Let's see if we can.
I mean, he's a ground baller. So, like, obviously that's ideal. right? If you're pitching in cores, if you're keeping the ball on the ground, that's obviously like priority number one
Yeah.
because
He's been a strikeout guy at the minor league level. It didn't really translate at all in 2021 when he was with St. Louis, just a 7.3 K per nine. Um, but this year, I mean, obviously it's been a couple of starts and it's really booned by his most recent start where he had 10 strikeouts.
right,
But he did profile as a strikeout guy at the minor league level, so maybe a little bit
right.
better feel. But to the point we're talking about, 2.45 ERA, his expected ERA 3.10, his xFIP 3.45. He's kind of pitching to what he's at. Is see here. Do we have a Sierra for him somewhere? I don't see the Sierra somewhere on this, but I mean, he just in general, like I said, his numbers here are not far off of what he's pitching to. So I don't think any major regression. Sierra's 3.59.
359, yeah,
Yeah, so
359.
like we've seen a lot worse of guys who have these low numbers, and then their xFIPs and Sierras are 4 runs higher. This is about a run higher. If this game plays and isn't impacted by weather, I kind of think I would give it a risk, honestly, like this here.
Because the pool of pitching is so bleak, I don't dislike the call. The Rockies stink. Like the Rockies offense is also quite bad, so it's not, it's not like we're attacking like thinking about using a pitcher against a good offensive
Sure.
course. That's not the case at all.
Yep, I agree with you there. I don't want to play Syndergaard, but I will bring up Syndergaard. We looked up this number his last starting in Chicago. He has allowed the most stolen bases per inning pitched in baseball over the last like 5 years. We bet the over on the Nico Horner stolen base prop, and it cashed immediately. Starling Marte, Brandon Nimmo, guys who are going to be available to run potentially on the Mets here. That has to be in consideration, I think, when it comes to lineup building here.
Yep, agreed.
It was like a stolen base every like 3.8 innings pitch, which may seem like not a lot, but I mean, teams don't steal bases every game. He's giving up 2 stolen bases per quality start, basically, right? Like pretty bad for stolen bases allowed, and the Cubs ran all over him in that game. So just something to watch. Let's go on over to catcher position here. We talk all the time. If you want to spend up, you can. Where are you targeting your catcher position? Is it as simple as we're stacking against Bumgarner here? Contreras at 4,300, or we've seen Goldschmidt sit, we've seen Arenado sit. Does Contreras get a day off coming for him?
I don't know. He has 2 home runs on Tuesday, so I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna sit. He's coming in. He got off to an abysmal start, but 3 straight multi-hit games with 6 extra base hits over that span. Feels like they'd want that in the lineup, especially against Bumgarner. I think it is as easy as what you just said, John. It's like if Contreras is in the lineup, that's where my immediate interest goes to.
Yep. I agree with you 1,000% there. If we move ourselves on down here, where are we taking a peek here? I always forget. Cal Raleigh power against righties, right? Or is it power from the
against
right
righties.
side?
No, power against righties.
Power against righties. Okay.
Yep. He is secondary play because he is better. They've been playing Murphy. Murphy's been horrible, but they've been playing Murphy against lefties.
Against lefties. So, yeah.
Keep that in mind. I like Zunino against Spencer Turnbull. Zunino actually having a pretty good year against righties and lefties. And Turnbull sucks, so I'm perfectly fine going to Zunino 41. Jonah Heim, if Brady Singer continues to struggle, he allowed 4 home runs his last start. Like that's what he does. He hits home runs. So I would go there.
I know you mentioned how bad they are against lefties, but Joey Bart is smoking the baseball right now.
Yeah, I mean, Joey Bart was like a very highly coveted prospect for them, and was supposed to,
He
be
was the
the
Buster Posey replacement.
be the replacement after Posey, and he just hasn't been great. He strikes out a lot, and that's I think a little concerning with Trevor Rogers on the mound, but
37 average against lefties this year.
yeah, he's been good, undeniably been good. I
Again,
think
it makes sense when he's only played like 6 games and he has multi hits in 3 of them. So that his average would be high. But I mean, if we're looking to punt catcher, I'm fine. He's been good. He's,
he has been.
I think for me on this slate, it's going to be Bart or it's going to be Contreras. That's where I'm living.
Yeah, I mean, we could also look at what Gabriel Moreno just did. He hit a grand slam, right? Was it
3-run.
3-run home run for his first home run of the year? And we had talked about it, like, has been like okay. The power numbers just haven't been there. But this game had the highest implied total outside of Coors. I like it. I'm okay. I know Woodford was good last start, but those pesky Diamondbacks, like you said, John, 8 runs.
I tried to tell you.
8 runs on Tuesday. Like, I'd go back to Luella Moreno. And then if you're not playing Marco Gonzalez, Victor Caratini hits lefties.
He does hit lefties. That is true. Victor Caratini for sure.
$2,400 if he's in the lineup. Now, the difference is like they have William Contreras this year, right? That's also something. He's $4,000. So either Brewers catcher. Caratini actually started Tuesday. Does he start 2 games in a row? That's the question. I don't know if he would. I didn't realize he was starting Tuesday. That feels like they would not start him 2 days in a row.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Anybody else for you?
No.
First base. Goldie, Baumgartner. Feel like we've written this ship before.
Yes.
5,800. He homered today as well, fresh off of his off day. So that's probably going to be pretty chalk.
Yes.
But you do have Matt Olson here against Martinez at 56. Alonso gets Syndergaard. We know we're certainly fans of there. France gets Lauer. Some pretty strong top first base options. I would rank them as I mentioned them: Goldschmidt, Olson, and Alonso.
I too would rank them that way. No problem getting to any of those names, but Goldschmidt stands out like a sore thumb. I mean, this guy coming off the MVP, he's only going to have 2 home runs at this point. No. Things are about to change.
I think so as well. I'm trying to pull up the quick BVP here on Goldschmidt versus Mad Bum, but I think we looked at it recently. It's pretty good, right?
So he's
yeah. I just pulled it up. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. 26 of 76 with 4 home runs, 16 RBIs, 342 average, 448 WOBA. I would say like that is I'm not like I really have been poo-pooing most BVPs that you
76 at bats is a good sample
like
size.
76 is a pretty good sample.
Nolan Arenado has a 68 at bat sample size too. We'll hit upon that, but not as good, but still good as against Mad Bum here. Mid-tier first baseman as we move our way down. Any of these names jump off the page to you? I mean, they're not your household. Garrett Cooper, Alec Boehm, Josh Naylor, Rowdy there, but it's lefty on lefty. Josh Bell gets Turnbull. I mean, anybody here jump out to you?
Yep. 2 guys that you mentioned on the same team. Unfortunately, we won't be able to play them.
So you're not in
together.
On Turnbull, huh? That's a no for you?
He's coming off a really good start against Toronto. I'm very happy for him. I stacked him in that game, and I'm going to stack against him again. He this year against left-handed bats, 414 average, 1100 OPS, 494 WOBA against. The one thing we know about the Guardians is they have a boatload of lefties in their lineup. Steven Kwan, Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, Andres Jimenez, Will Brennan, Josh Bell. You could play, they might start 7 lefty bats up against Turnbull here. And I know Turnbull's coming off the start. I don't care. He's going, like, he's in, this is
Yeah.
a bad matchup for him, considering how many lefties Cleveland can throw at him. It's a really good park for hitters. Comerica has been a historically good
Yeah.
hitters park for the last few years. So I like both Guardians guy. If you need the savings, get to Bell. I think he's probably been playing better anyway.
Yeah.
Especially lately. Seven extra base hits. We have hits in 7 straight games. Just kind of just doing a little bit. I mean, a lot of double-digit fantasy points lately too. So I like Josh Bell quite a bit. I like Naylor secondary to Bell,
Just
but
below Bell,
both are in
Carlos Santana. We talked about it the last couple of streams here. Better hitter against left-handed pitching, more power against right-handed pitching, but he's also starting to come alive. Have a pretty decent game here tonight. Double-digit fantasy points. He had double-digit fantasy points yesterday as well. Hits now in like 5 of 6 games. Gets Austin Gomber here. Carlos Santana. I mean, listen. This is probably the most we're ever going to play Pittsburgh all season long, right? So, it's the old smoke him if you got him. If you're,
Yep.
you'll never play Pittsburgh again this year. So go ahead and get the exposure to Carlos Santana while you can. $3,800 certainly could be in play, and then they're just being just absolutely disrespectful to our guys Christian Walker here at $3,500. Just. Again, we don't think much of Woodford. I think that's fine. Listen, I guess this is where my brain breaks a little bit. I know JD Davis doesn't have first base eligibility anymore. We'll talk about it, but like Wilmer Flores, like we know he hits lefties and he's hitting over 300. JD Davis is like the best player in baseball right now. Have you seen what his numbers look like? Another guy that just like mashes lefties. I don't know where these bad. This is the Arizona Diamondbacks to me all over again. Where you're like, I don't know, man. They're like the last place team in against left-handed pitching. And I'm telling you, I'm like, I just ran through half their lineup. They're all hitting over 300 with an 800 plus OPS against lefties. Where are they bad? Who are they bad against when it comes to left-handed pitching? I don't get it. Again, I know recently Wilmer Flores has been a more even hitter, but in his career, he's been really good against lefties and he's hitting the ball well right now. I don't know. Something feels off to me there. Pavin Smith against Woodford. Homered the other day, hitting the middle of that lineup. I wonder, he's definitely going to be in the lineup here, so we'll see where he ends up hitting. But that's probably it for me at first base.
So, first, I just can't stand when this is the worst part about non-multi-position DraftKings play. Like, this is the worst thing about DraftKings because they have 3 San Francisco first basemen here, all against a lefty. Yeah. Darren Ruff, lefty. Wilmer Flores gets a lefty. And then the same thing with Arizona. Christian Walker and Pavin Smith both in the same exact spot with no eligibility. I'm looking up San Francisco, pivoting away to what you were just saying. You're correct on Wilmer Flores. He is hitting lefties at a high clip this year, 400 against lefties. But Thairo Estrada, who's been their best player, or at least their best fantasy asset, 227. JD Davis hitting 250 against lefties this year, 4 for 16. Brandon Crawford, 1 for 14. Conforto, 1 for 11. Darren Ruff, 2 for 9. David VR, 2 for 16. Yastrzemski, 3 for 17. So other than and Joey Bart's been good, 357, 14 at 5 for 14. So other than Bart and Wilmer Flores, every single person in this lineup's hitting 250 or worse.
A lot of those were like 2-game sample sizes. I'm just saying. I feel
it's not. There definitely could be positive.
I don't know. Like I said, I just see Wilmer's down there at 36. There's guys. There's just saying that there's guys. I know you're not disagreeing me with that, but yeah.
I mean, they have undeniably been good against right-handed pitching, like best in baseball.
And actually, to that point, you mentioned the JD Davis splits. Historically, JD Davis versus lefty has been our had been a crutch when he was like with the Mets, right? But to your point this year, I mean, it's 250 versus lefties, 4 for 16, smoking right-handed pitching, 345, all 4 of his home runs coming against righties, which is just not what we've come to generally think of JD Davis as. But he's been unbelievable so far to this point. All right, any other first baseman to you?
No, I mean,
we talked a lot of first baseman for sure. All right, let's go over to second base then here. Your boy Simeon, 3-run jack tonight. He got there.
Yep.
$5,700. It's him, and then
we're streaking.
Him?
We're streaking, John. He's streaking right now.
And then it goes to one of my favorite players, Andres Jimenez. That's like my 2 guys there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Simeon home run in 3 straight games now. Like, this is literally what you talk about every single time you talk about Marcus Simeon, that he just does things in bunches. So don't you want to be on the, like, when he does do this in bunches, he breaks slates.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, but when he doesn't, he stinks. Like, yeah, I get it. But like right now, we are all aboard the Simeon train. I 100% agree on the Andres Jimenez thing. I mean, I talked about it at first. Like, they're gonna throw 7 lefties at Spencer Turnbull, and he's not gonna know what to do. Andres Jimenez is close to a lock and load for me in this spot. We're not gonna lock and load. You know what I just realized? The Oakland is calling up.
Prospect. Yeah.
Miller.
Is he on the slate though? His name is listed.
So. Mason Miller. I know. I see it. But where the heck? I don't see
They have him listed as an opponent,
he's
but not
in the player pool.
Let's see.
24 years old.
Yeah.
490. He pitched one game at AAA and 1 game at AA this year. He had 11 strikeouts and 8 strikeouts, respectively, in both those outings. Looks pretty good. Of course, like this is like very hard to look at because he pitches in the PCL. But he's only made 11 career starts in the minor leagues, John. And he's pitching for the Oakland Athletics.
What's his first name?
Mason Miller, 24 years old. He was a 3rd-round pick in the 2021 draft. He has made 11 appearances.
Yeah, he was he was like a 5-year senior at college. So already older than some of the guys that get drafted. He was never ranked in the top 100 as a prospect.
No. Isn't that crazy though? That he's literally
thrown 28 career innings in the minor league level.
Dude, that's crazy.
Definitely crazy. I wonder if it's like a clerical error and someone was like, we wanted this Miller. It's like, well, Mason's already on the plane. And they're like, all right, like, I guess Mason's pitching then, Yeah, I got nothing for you here. He threw 5 perfect innings.
Yeah, it was dominant. 11 strikeouts, like dominant.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, that's wild. Good for him, I guess. Welcome to the show, also, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for him. I was looking at Nico Horner at second because again, 4,200 now he gets righty.
Well, I wanted to see that's what I was looking for. I was like, how are guys pitching running against Mason Miller?
There's just no data.
Are guys running on Mason Miller at the minor league level? We don't know. Let's see.
There's no data. There's no data. So, look, it's
Yeah.
I don't. Unfortunately, he's not in the player pool.
Would you pitch him if he was?
Stinks, but
I bet he'd be like 5K.
He's probably we saw what Taj Bradley when he got called up, he was 4K, right? Like maybe.
So does this keep you off of the unknown of Chicago then, or
Maybe not, just because we've liked how like the upside of Chicago, like we've liked how active they've been on the base paths. Like if he gets on, like if Horder gets on, is he not going to steal against the guy who's made 11 career like professional outings? Like not only has he not pitched in the majors, he has literally made 11 appearances in the minors. Like that just feels like
So
something we should
I'm reading a quick
potentially.
scouting report on him. This is from the Athletic. Sorry, this is the SB Nation Athletics. Miller, the 21-year-old, has skyrocketed up through the minor leagues thanks to a fastball that consistently breaks 100 miles an hour and a devastating slider that has baffled minor league hitters. So he throws 100 plus with a slider. He's the third-ranked prospect in the organization, but he's not a top 100 prospect yet. But I guess like he could crack the top 100 prospects at some point. I guess maybe, but okay. I guess we're expecting 100 plus mile an hour fastball and a slider here tomorrow. So
I'm seeing if I was looking. I also pivoted to see if where Sells our very own Matt Sells at FantasyAlarm.com had
yeah,
Mason Miller ranked.
does he?
Um, he had him ranked in his top 400 coming into the year was 372, and also had ETA 2024. So they are fast tracking this kid.
Yeah,
Mighty quick.
All right, so sidetrack there. I guess it'll be fun to watch, right? We'll see what we're doing.
Yep.
He either dominates or gets blitzed. It's really one of the two here. Again, I like Jimenez. Just kind of spin back to what we were talking about. Simeon Jimenez for me are the two that I'm kind of keying in on here.
I agree.
Nolan Gorman's a lefty, so I don't know about the matchup against Mad Bum, but Bryson Stott against Clevenger, I could get some action there. Yeah, let off hit with a home run the other day. He's got 5 hits in the last 2.
Yeah, he's now just slotted in too.
Yeah, not Trey Turner, not the guy they paid $1 billion for, but Bryson Stott.
I mean, hey, I get like, maybe that's just like allowing
Rafael
Bryson
Devers
Stott
hit
something,
second, so
right?
best
Like
players hit second. Judge hit second. Yeah.
Right. Aaron Judge, right. Aaron Judge hit second. So like
I think Harper was hitting second too last year, right? Before the injury. So
it's just all the maximizing the at bats, right? Like it's so I don't
Rodolfo back to a lefty matchup like for Gomber here. 37, get the multi-position eligibility there for us.
You're right.
No, that's what I'm saying. We're never playing Pittsburgh again. So it just won't happen. I guess that would be it for me. I think
you wouldn't play Nicky Goat Tone, who had that like random stretch of hitting 3 home runs.
Hit like one off Scherzer, didn't he?
He took someone deep. Toronto, I think it was the Manoa.
Yeah,
might have been like Gossman Manoa back-to-back games or something.
All right, let's go over to third base then, and we'll hit this spot. Jan Ram. Going back to my favorite nickname for him, you're like, where's Jan Ram coming from?
Yeah, horrible. Still a horrible, absolutely awful nickname.
His name's Jose. Yeah, Jan Ram. Going back to it.
I'm happy this is the first time the Better Sports Network has gotten an introduction to Jan Ram. Literally, if we could put up a poll on worst nicknames in sports,
it's not even his official nickname. That's what I call
right him. Near the top. It is. I'm so happy it's
J Ram. Whatever.
Good for him.
6K against Turnbull here. Our boy Austin Riley, hearts out to you, $5,700. Arenado, as I mentioned.
Wow, this
Arenado's numbers not as productive in terms of averages. It's like a 250 average, just a tick below an 800 OPS, but he's got 4 home runs and 68 at bats. He's got a handful of extra base hits. So again, not as devastating as Paul Goldschmidt, who's probably going to be the cover of this show today. But you're not going to not play Arenado probably in a stack with Goldschmidt here against St. Louis. Mad Bum is just so washed. It's hard not to go there. Muncy's been hitting moonshots. No one's going to play the Dodgers against Scherzer. But Max is shown to be hittable the 2 of the 3 starts this year. Rojas, I talk about Arizona all the time. He's $4,700. Wisdom gets the Miller kid at 45. I mean, and then JD Davis against Rogers at 43. I know the splits have been reversed for him this year, but still going to throw him out there.
The top of third base is
it's pretty good.
I don't know how I'm gonna pivot. Like, I don't know how you pivot off it. Like, obviously there's incredibly elite names after it too. Like the 4K
Ryan Hayes is gonna lead off against a lefty in Coors.
And Eugenio at 4K.
Yeah. Josh Jung is gonna against Singer at 3,900.
Coming off against a guy who just gave up 4 home runs last start.
Yeah.
I mean, Jake Berger does nothing but hit home runs, John. I know, okay, it's Jake Berger. 4 home runs in his last 5 games. Put some respect on Jake Berger's name.
Oh, dude. That the guy has a faith hits home runs for sure.
Third base is easily the best position that we've talked about.
Dude, Brett Beatty's $2,200 against Syndergaard.
Well, let's see if they actually bat.
Well, they faced a lefty today, so it makes sense that he wouldn't be in the lineup, but he's going to be in the lineup against Thor.
And so will Mike Brousseau against Marco Gonzalez against lefty.
I mean, I guess that's the decision you make, right? Like,
spending up, are you punting?
How much do you believe in Brett Beatty? Because $2,200 is it's when they kept them pricing Bobby Witt Jr. last year at his stupidly low price, and you're like, I'm just gonna play the kid because he's too talented, and until they make him too high to play, right? Beatty's, to me, he's kind of I know he's been a hyped prospect, but kid mashes, right?
Yes.
And he's not a $2,200 player if he's playing to his potential. And we saw how Bobby Witt ended the season. Power, elite speed. If Beatty, is just locked in out of the gate here, he's a 4K plus player at $2,200 right now. But as you mentioned, look at those guys over.
Dude, how do you? I know.
Go play multi lineups today. Go play on FanDuel where you can play multiple players.
Yeah. So just looking at Syndergaard splits this year, and it's obviously a small sample. Lefties are really hitting Noah Syndergaard. 300 average, 930 OPS, 395 WOBA.
Does Beatty have speed? I'm not familiar with his profile here. I know he's got power.
Dude, you just almost hit me with the Shaquille O'Neal. I'm not familiar with this.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with your game.
Sorry, I'm not familiar with your game,
Yeah. You just hit us with the meme. I don't think there's any speed for Brett Beatty. None.
Just I think I know he's a big kid. I just wasn't sure if there was anything that he had maybe profiled a little bit there.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
Yeah, he's got 9 career stolen bases at the moment.
I don't think he's going to steal many bases.
He's all power to this kid, which is fine, totally okay.
Yeah. John, I'm coming around here. I'm coming around the 2,200, but you're really going to have to talk me out of playing. To play Brett Beatty, you're not playing Jose Ramirez, Nolan Arenado, and that does not feel good. If Brett Beatty hits a home run, then you win.
That's my thing. We're gonna obviously be live again tomorrow. Well, we won't be live because of the 1 p.m. slate. We'll be live in the Discord. You see the scroll at the bottom. If you're not already a member of the Fantasy Salon family, fantasyssalon.com/all-pro, promo code MLB50, $20 a month for the first 6 months, 50% off for the first 6 months through the NFL season. You get access to our premium Discord. James and I will be in there. We'll take a look at the roster percentages and see where we're at.
Yep.
Because people are going to have that tough decision to make. If we want to stack Bumgarner. Goldschmidt's for sure in the lineup. I guess it would depend on who else is around him in that lineup to not play Arenado. Contreras, you'd play Goldschmidt, Contreras, play Beatty at third, and then I don't know, Edman, Tyler O'Neill, Jordan Walker, somebody around.
Dylan Carlson,
Yepez probably in the lineup here, or do they send him down? I forget.
Probably.
His new bar's up, right?
Yeah,
he's not even on my player pool.
Yeah, they sent Yepez to the. They sent him out. They sent
Not
him
on the
packing.
player pool on Newpass. So I mean, what's Newbar?
Yeah,
Newbar or lefty or righty? Lefty. Okay.
lefty.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see where that lineup looks like. But
Because they also didn't have. Remember, Donovan got
true,
scratched on Tuesday, so they could be without Brendan Donovan as
true.
well.
So Beatty at 2,200 is interesting, but there's a lot of guys. Third base is loaded for us, guys. We definitely like.
Loaded. Yep.
Because I mean, Brian Hayes has done nothing but rake in course, and he gets a lefty spot here
Yep.
at 38 and a 42. It's going to lead off. So,
In course.
In course.
In
so,
course.
Yeah. Anyways, shortstop here. Trey Turner is your top price guy. He's $6,100. Willie Adames, homer today. Or homer to double?
Double dong. Double dong. As two. No. Double and a home run. Sorry, my apologies. Double and
I knew he hit one. Okay, so you got Adames here at $5,300. Bobby Witt's down to 48. Grissom at 39.
Lindor 52.
Yeah. Edmund could lead off at 38. They hit him in ninth, or they hit him leadoff. I mean,
you want Tommy Edmund to be a leadoff hitter so bad. He just
he had 90 runs back-to-back years. Like, why do they just don't play it anymore?
I know. I don't know.
Rodolfo.
I'm just playing Rodolfo. Yeah. Hey, Rodolfo. Yo, hey, how's your family?
I'm just gonna click it. We're just gonna click it.
Yeah, just
all right.
Rodolfo.
Outfield then. Acuna, Schwarb Daddy, Rodriguez. Mookie Betts is already out. What's going on here?
He is
personal.
Paternity. Yeah, becoming a daddy. Becoming a father.
Wait, what is happening this? The Kenny was they could serve as a team starting shortstop versus the Mets. Is he gonna get shortstop eligibility?
Let's go. Mookie's gonna be the first player on DraftKings to have 3-position eligibility. Let's go.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Expected to return from the paternity list Wednesday. Yeah. So even though he doesn't have shortstop eligibility yet, DraftKings is about to give him shortstop eligibility.
Well, he lost second.
Did he? He did. Okay,
yeah,
he did.
No,
good.
Second.
Good. All right, whatever. So, but Mookie's an outfield only for this slate at least. Not that I think we're gonna get there against Scherzer, but I mentioned Marte again. He's got 7 steals already on the year. If he gets on against Noah, it seems like an absolute lock.
He's gone.
It's
a lock. I
am for sure betting him and Nimmo. They're going to double steal. They'll do a double steal. They'll both get there.
You should do a Marte waterfall. Still on base.
Yeah, 1 plus,
do
2
like
plus,
1,
3 plus,
then 2. Yeah.
Same game parlay it.
Little $5 bet. You win. How much money would you win? You'd win a lot of money.
Yeah, if he hits them all. Yeah, I mean the stolen base itself is usually like plus 200, plus 300. Right. Jazz Chisholm starting to heat up a bit. He's also got stolen bases in back-to-back games. He's expensive though. It feels like it's been a while since we've had Miami on a main slate. So seeing Jazz at 54 feels a little alarming. Adolis, big night tonight. He's 53. Lewis Robert, he let off the other day. $5,200 for Lewis Robert against Walker. Soto's 52. McCutchen versus lefty and Gomber 52. Where are you peaking here?
I mean, dude, how do you narrow this down? Acuna is obviously elite. Martinez is what he is, righty on the mound. Acuna's, if he's on first, he's going. Reynolds is better against righties, but Gomber has been bad. Still in cores, like have to like Reynolds. The price has been interesting. 6K, 58, then back up to 62. Schwarb always in line for a home run, always live for a home run. J-Rod's fine. Chris Bryant was good again. He's fine. Marte is really, really interesting. 55. Probably Chisholm has been really good. Worth he should be 5,400. It's just like not used to seeing 5,400 next to his name. Next, I don't like. I would get to not paying 51 for Seiya, not paying 51 for Castellanos. Right. I don't understand. I know Thairo Estrada's really good and he has multi-position eligibility. Not paying 5K there. Why in the
Kwan.
world is Stephen Kwan 4,900? Like, I would like to play Stephen Kwan if he was $3,900 because it's another lefty that could score 3 runs here and
Right.
steal a base. Like, I would like to play that. I love Teoscar 48. Nimmo, you mentioned. I mean, there's just
Marsh has been good, but not at
this is
47.
he's hitting 5th, which is interesting. But yeah, you're not playing Brandon Marsh at $4,700.
Doesn't feel good. Tyler Neal's 43.
John Corbin Carroll over 4K.
Hey, he need to get scratched
Okay.
to get there. Yeah, we'll lock in Corbin Carroll against Woodford here.
Did you see the note that they asked the manager? He is simply getting the night off.
You know, that young body of his needs the rest.
He's simply getting the night off, John. They scratched him. They scratched him to just give him the night off. Hey Corbin, how you feeling tonight? Oh, I'm feeling good. All right, you get the night off. We're gonna scratch you. You're no longer in the lineup after preparing like you were all day.
Connor Joe's $3,800 more Pittsburgh.
Is he gonna hit third again? No, they have McCutcheon. McCutcheon lefty, he'll hit third. But like Connor Joe hitting fifth probably.
Riley Green's been decent lately. He's $3,600. He gets Cal Quantrill as a gas can.
Yeah, homered on Tuesday. I think did he also steal a base? Is that in the same game? Did they play 2 games?
They played
today?
the doubleheader, yeah.
He just strikes out so much. But Cal Quantrill, like, if you're striking out versus Cal Quantrill, like, you need to reevaluate.
You strike out against Cal Quantrill because you forgot to take a bat to the plate. That's about it. You know, you're just like, oh, I can't hit anything. There's no bat here. You know, just,
there's no bat. Sir, the umpire's like, sir, you forgot the bat. Oh, I don't.
Miguel Vargas during spring training is like, don't swing, and he walked like 12 times. Yeah. That's like, he's not swinging. How are you walking this man? Like, it's just insane to me that even existed. That the man was told not to swing, and he walked 12 times.
Right, that is something needs to be reevaluated.
Those pictures need to go away. You shouldn't be walking a guy who's specifically told not to swing, and you know he was told not to swing, and you put him on base. I don't know.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Oscar Gonzalez should be better, but he's not. He's $3,400.
Yeah, brutal.
Let's see here. Grisham at 34. Miles Straw is a pretty decent stolen base candidate here.
He's been hitting, which he hasn't like in a while. Hitting 310 this year.
Also hitting 310 this year. Cody Bellinger coming off of a 5-for-5 game yesterday. Tonight, not the same experience.
No.
But you know what? He gets that Miller kid. So maybe, maybe $3,300.
Yeah, I'd rather probably just play Jordan Walker. I know Jordan Walker hasn't been good lately, but I'd rather probably play him. But yeah, if you want to play Cubs, Bellinger's fine.
I'm with you there. Let's see. Janikowski will hit second again. Mitchell is lefty.
What happened to Jake McCarthy, dude? Just a magical run last year, and like the juice is just worn off. He has like
well, we can take a peek here. Let's go look at some Jake McCarthy sabermetric stats.
Because like he was absolutely demolishing last year in every category. He had 23 stolen bases in 99
Well, he's got a 211 BABIP, so that's certainly not helping him. He has an expected WOBA of 318, but it's 236. So he's definitely getting unlucky here.
Expected batting average of 260, almost 100 points lower than his average.
So, I mean, and like you said, 260, not great. He hit 280 last year. If he hit 260 for his average, he would probably, I mean, this is going to be stupid to say, he would be a lot better.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's just weird, like not making any soft contact. He's hitting more fly balls than he did last year. And he's just not doing it.
Not great hard contact, though. It's all not medium great contact, whatever they determined to be medium contact.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, 42% to the opposite field. Like, that feels like a decent number, right? Like,
dude, this is a good spot for him You know, like this is a good spot for Diamondbacks in general. Like this is just one of those spots where you're just like, yeah, like I could see myself getting to Diamondbacks.
Getting more
Oh,
line
Jake
drives and
McCarthy,
fly balls this year than last year.
dude. That's what I'm saying. Like there is some type of disconnect here with Jake McCarthy that maybe it is just coming down to like what you
He's got
said. He's
here's
just
one. He's only got
unlucky.
one barrel, so
That's
that's
horrible.
not
That
good.
is
But his max exit velocity is 108.5. Like that's pretty strong,
that's your one barrel.
right? Like
Dude, I mean look, we are Jake
yes,
McCarthy
we're
fans
looking for
here.
reasons to
But
play him for sure. But he's
but
not
I don't think
this
you can. I don't
bad.
think
Like
he's not this bad. I just don't know if you can play him while he's this bad. Like if you want to try to get ahead of the curve,
mhm,
right? Like by all means do it. But if he doesn't pan out, like there's a lot of good value like kind of down here. Like Will Brennan has been someone that I've kind of been playing. I've played a couple Guardian stacks lately. One against Patrick Corbin didn't pan out because I played Jose Ramirez. And I think another one in that same series. And he was really good in both those games. Will Brennan, two 13 plus DraftKings points games over his last four. Kerry Carpenter for the Detroit Tigers has 3 home runs in his last 5 games. He gets Cal Quantrill. Like we just
mhm.
talked about it. Like if you have a bat, there's good things
Yeah.
that could happen against Kerry Carpenter. And then your boy Sam Hilliard, who gets a righty, needs to stop striking out as much,
I do.
but
I love him at the back end of that lineup.
agreed, agreed, because he has so much run scoring potential just with who's
Mhm.
hitting behind him. Um, so yeah, I think there's like really interesting names down here. That's the only thing that would really pull me off McCarthy because like I want to play Will Brennan in a Guardian stack. Like I think Will Brennan makes a lot of sense for value. Um, because you're gonna pay 6K for Jose
Mhm.
Ramirez, and that's like obviously extremely expensive. Um, so yeah, I mean, if you want to try to get ahead of the curve on Jake McCarthy, by all means. I don't know if it's advisable right now.
I'm looking at some max exit velocities and average exit velocities for this season. Our guy Jack Sawinski, who homered twice tonight, third in baseball at a 96.6 average exit velocity. So
That is
that
quite
man is
impressive.
ripping. It's Matt Chapman, Jock Peterson, Jack Sawinski for the average exit velocity. Your max exit velocity is usual suspects. Matt Olson at 118.6, Giancarlo Stanton 117.8, Jordan, Springer, O'Neill, Cruz, Vladdy. You're just your usual guys. Jordan Walker though checking in at 11th at 113.9. So
It's interesting to not hear Giancarlo first in
yeah.
that category.
Top guy, hard hit percentage. Matt Chapman won. We kind of he's been hitting the ball. Patrick Wisdom number 2 in hard hit percentage this year.
I wish that translated to Tuesday, but
Yep,
yeah.
yep. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. All right, now that we've been sidetracked here long enough, James, we got a lineup to make here in the final minute or two of the show here. So let's lock in a pitcher. What are we? Where are we going here?
Um, I mean, I think we both liked the mid tier quite a bit. I think Martin Perez was probably the guy that we wanted to use. And then we can go Justin Steele. Oakland is
Okay.
so bad. They're just so
Wilson Contreras, we're in. Paul Goldschmidt, we're in. Second,
Jordan
Jordan
Walker.
Walker. All right. Second base, shortstop. We did Castro already. Second base, we
Uh,
wanted
Andres.
Jimenez there.
Brett
80
Beatty's
at
probably going to
third.
have to be
Yep.
our third base. Yeah, he's probably going to have to be the play.
80. Two outfield spots, 4,500 apiece. We got another value and we can do a spend up.
I was
Corbin
thinking we
Carroll,
could
41.
go Corbin
Okay.
Carroll, and
4,900
then we
bucks.
can go Teoscar, who's been a menace against
You want to do
lefties,
Nimmo against Syndergaard with stolen base upside?
or Nimmo. Yeah,
I'll
one
do
of those
Nimmo
two
there. So
for
that's the
sure.
lineup there, guys. Perez, Steele, Contreras, Goldschmidt, Jimenez, Beatty, Castro, Walker, Carroll, and Nimmo. We'll be in the Discord. It's a 1 o'clock lock. Good luck, everybody. We'll catch you guys later.